Welcome to 24 Slayton. I'm here with Greg Smith.
Yes,
He's working with B-ballers. That's his new thing. He helps the kids of today, the youth and basketball program. He's in Long Beach. Just trying to make it happen. How's it going, Greg?
all right,
Long time.
man.
Yes.
Pleasure, pleasure,
Yeah, it's been a long time
pleasure.
seeing
Good to
you.
see you, man. It's
Yeah,
been a while,
yeah,
man.
we're out here now.
Yeah.
I used to talk to Greg when he was doing some other stuff out here. He was music. I think we were working on some, when I was working with Dub, he was doing some other
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
And,
Dub.
and so
Tell the
we,
people about Dub, man. That was
Dub.
everybody know about Dub. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Tell them about Dub.
Everybody knows, we talked about that. Let's go. This is you.
Dub was the hottest show in LA, man. It was
Yeah.
like
Well,
everybody wanted to go
everywhere.
to Dub
That's
show.
actually around
Yeah,
the
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
worldwide.
see Dub stickers everywhere. But yeah,
Dub show.
this is about Greg Smith.
That's right. All right. Okay, I'll
This is
take
all
it.
about Gregory here. You
Right.
know what I mean? So, all right. So yeah, let's talk about growing up. You grew up in.
Grew up in South Central LA,
Mhm.
right in the hood, Crips in the blood. Grew up in the 60s.
Yeah.
Grew up as a what they call a PK.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know the PK means a preacher's kid. My
Yeah.
dad's a preacher, or yeah, he was a preacher in South Central, and grew up right in the middle when the Crips and the Bloods, the gang stuff, really just started in the
Oh yeah, 'cause
60s.
that was the
Yeah.
'60s, right? Yeah.
Yeah, with Tookie, and it was crazy, bro. It
So
was
how
crazy.
was it like living there with the?
It was scary, man, because every day, our parents, they didn't drive us to school. We had to walk to school.
Yeah,
So every
uphill
day,
both ways, right?
man. So, every day you just don't know. You Monday through Friday, you gotta get up. It's like eat your Captain Crunch. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, about to go to war, and you strap on and just walk out the door and just hope you make it. Um, so yeah, it was kind of hard because back then the gangs were recruiting heavy, man,
Hmm.
because it was hot. It was just the new thing. Crack wasn't in yet. The drugs weren't that involved, but it was just recruiting. A lot of recruiting going on, and I had the features to be in the gang. I was young and very athletic, and they were after me, man. But yeah, grew up South Central every day,
How,
walked
how'd
to
you
school.
how'd you stay away from that though?
Oh man, I just I always kind of like used being a preacher's kid as my crutch. When they ask me what set I'm from, because that's how they know where you at, or or if I get approached. I would tell them, look, man, my dad's a preacher. I could I get a pass? Because I really can't gang bang. I got to really help my dad out. So that's the way I really just use it as, look, I'm a preacher's kid, man. I really can't be associated. But still, I was associated because of whatever street I lived on. Pretty much, I was involved. But
So
they gave me a pass, though.
so back then was it like did you have a long set of streets or did it was it broken off into little like
You had
blocks
you
like
had
blocks?
blocks. You had certain areas where we knew we couldn't go into. I don't know how we knew it, but I think because because we didn't have no internet and texting back then,
Yes.
so we kind of like just knew don't go past. Like I say, don't go past Manchester Boulevard, don't go past Imperial. We kind of knew our radius.
Hmm.
I don't know how, but we
Yes.
knew it. And we kind of like some kids would venture off to go that way, and then they get in trouble or get popped or get shot at. So that kind of like how we knew which way where not to go. But it was radius. That's crazy how they just took certain streets and said this is the Rolling 60s, this is the Grape Street,
Yeah.
depending on whatever name, whatever pop there was, the Broadway Crips, Imperial Bloods, all that, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So I was near Imperial Downs, or the Jordan Downs is
Hmm.
kind of like in the area I was closest to. So just give you a reference. South Central, Jordan Downs, Locke High School, Washington High School is the area where I grew
When
up
they
in.
built the freeway, did they mess up?
Yeah,
That
that
mess.
110
Yeah, yeah.
freeway or the
No,
105.
105, that 105 they built
Yeah,
it.
it didn't mess nothing up. It
No,
just
it
made it a lot
didn't.
easier for people to come in and out
Yes.
and they do a crime and jump right on that freeway. It was a straight shot.
Yeah.
So it didn't really mess. It made things a little worse for people coming in to get to us because back then, you would have to have somebody with a car.
Yes.
But if they were doing the streets, it's harder to get away.
Yeah.
But when that freeway hit and they have the off ramp right there, it's a lot easier to do a pop and they jump on the freeway and get out the way.
Yeah. Okay. So after the gangs, you kind
Yeah,
of got through that.
after the gangs, it's funny. It's not funny, but I saw a lot of kids get killed. Because my dad was doing the funerals of a lot of the kids would be
Mhm.
getting killed. A lot of the parents, when their kids get in trouble, they would call my dad up because he would be the preacher. They'd
Mhm.
call because he was a neighborhood preacher.
Yeah.
So that's why they gave me a pass, because they saw I was involved in the church. My dad was the preacher, and we are doing funerals for free and all that other stuff. But yeah. So anyway, once I got out of the church, I kind of like ventured off into sports because I was heavy in sports. Played football. Then I was able to see. Now check this. As a kid growing up in the hood, man, you only know what you know and where you go.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Santa Monica looked like
Yeah.
until I played football and we got on Westchester, which is like a 5 mile ride down Imperial towards the beach. And I didn't know what that side of the town looked like because I only knew what area I was allowed to go to.
Your 4 blocks.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So when I got a chance to go play football and go 10 miles away from where I grew up, that's when I kind of saw like, whoa, it's a different world out here.
How was it playing football? Like, you have to get on the bus and go to a different hood.
That was scary.
How was that? Like,
Yeah, that was kind of scary because going into the hood, they knew we were coming. Our buses would get rocked, thrown rocks at, or shooting at the bus, which is like, God, man, we just football players.
Yeah.
But it was just hardcore like that because we would have to go like to Fremont High, from Washington High, or to Manual High, and we take a big old yellow bus and we marked. So we have to ride with our helmets on, bro. Helmets
Yeah.
on the floor. It's like, wow, just to go play football.
Were there any gang members? Were the football players? Or?
Yeah, there was a few. Yeah, that was another thing. If a football player was part of a gang, they knew it, and then they would kind of like just take it out on the whole team. But luckily, we didn't. Nobody ever got killed. But yeah, it was kind of hard, and it's crazy because that's when I kind of experienced racism
Mm.
when we were going to play the white schools.
Yes.
We were bused to go play the white schools, and I never forget getting on the bus going to a high school on the west side near the water. And once we crossed a certain street, it was more whites.
Yes.
And then they pull up to the bus and give us the N word, bro, and
Yeah.
yelling at the bus. And that's when I first kind of like, man, I'm just coming to play football.
Yeah.
But they call us the N word and yelling at our bus and all that. I'm like, wow, that's
Take
crazy.
it out on the players.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys would take it out on the players.
Well, because we would win, we go mash them and then leave.
Mm.
So they hated playing the black schools, but it is what it is. We did take it out on the field though. We did. We were mashing them. So yeah, that's how my experience on how I realized there was something different out there when I got on that bus
Mhm.
and got a chance to go like 10 miles away from my house. I was like, whoa, this is a different world, different cars, people look different. And I was like, man, so that's how I wanted to taste it. I just knew there was something different than me being stuck at the church
Yeah.
all my life. I was always the black sheep in my family. I was like, no, there's something different out there. I don't want to be the preacher.
Yeah.
Let me live my life,
Yeah.
I'll have the church in my heart and my soul, but I want to get out and see what else is out there.
I think that's a big thing of before when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like we never left.
Mm-hmm.
You never left that part. Everybody they seen the same. The same little city,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody went outside, and nobody probably never seen. Just I mean, you have your friends are Mexican, or my family was Mexican. They would go to
Right.
Mexico.
Right. And as far as it goes, that's it, right?
Yeah,
Mexico
that's
or
it.
back.
Yeah, back.
Right.
You don't go to different states. You never seen that stuff
Right,
until
right.
some of them go to college and they're like, "Hey, we're in a whole different place."
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
that was different. That's crazy how you grew up with that.
And that's all we knew.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't get mad at my parents because that's all they knew.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like telling my sisters like, I don't want to go to church. Why I gotta go to church?
Yeah.
I don't want to go to. And I would try and get mad at my parents, but that's all they knew because they from the South.
Yeah.
They grew up when slaves, and
Yeah.
they grew up watching their parents pick cotton and all that other stuff, and all they knew was religion. Religion can help them open up doors, or the religion was their safe haven. That's all they knew.
Yeah.
I felt it was something different. So when I was born in the 60s, I was like, it ain't about just the religion thing. There's other things that can help you be successful than just saying, it's church or nothing,
Yes.
And my parents do. I grew up in this religion. It was called Church of God in Christ. Kojic is what we call it. And it was strict, bro. Couldn't listen to secular music, or couldn't listen to hip hop, R&B, couldn't smoke, couldn't drink. Women had to wear the skirts below their knees, had to dress a certain way. It was had to read the Bible every day, know all the Ten Commandments, follow all these rules. Dude, it was like really strict. And that's another thing that kind of like I didn't want to have such restrictions.
Yeah.
I was like, well, Jerry, he just went to a party over there. How come I can't go to a
Yeah.
house party?
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, something's up with this religion thing. It was just too strict, you know. But I'm not bashing it. Just that's the way. But that's all my parents knew,
Yeah.
and that's how I grew up in that environment. But once I got a taste of going to college, and I was like, oh, it's on and cracking.
Yeah.
So that's it on that end. Then I just got into the music because I was playing music, and then that's how I started playing for different bands and stuff like that. And
So you're a drummer?
yeah, I was a drummer, man. I was a hardcore drummer. I tried to. I did tour. I toured a lot. I got discovered at a young age. Gospel. I toured with a lot of gospel artists, and then from gospel I started doing jazz, and then from jazz, and I went to the R&B, and then from the R&B I went to hip hop. So yeah, I was a drummer for like 10 years, and then I started my own band once I got tired of playing drums for everybody, including people. I mean, I was NWA's drummer, or Eazy E's studio drummer for a while. But once I got tired of that hip hop thing, then I started my own band, and then I ended up on this thing called Battle of the Bands
Yeah.
with Dick Clark. Y'all need to Google Dick Clark. Yeah, Google Dick Clark.
He's an American Bandstand, and then
Yeah,
he was with the Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve.
Rockin' New Year's Eve.
You know,
Yeah.
then he got old and Ryan Seacrest took over.
All right, right.
Yeah.
Dick Clark, man, that was the man. So I got a chance to put a band together, and we beat out thousands of bands. This was back in the day when you had to
Yeah.
submit a cassette.
Did you have your own? Do you have your own music or your
Yeah,
or covers?
we did originals because I was writing music then. I had a good friend of mine named John Fluker, who I wrote a song with, and back then we put the song on a cassette, and then you mailed the cassette
Yes.
to. It was a number something I saw in a recycler magazine or something, advertising for bands, for Battle of the Bands. They didn't never say it was Channel 7 ABC. Anyway, I sent that tape in, and next thing you know, I got a call. You've been selected, your band, come try out. And we tried out, and we beat out like maybe 5,000 bands. They narrowed it down to 5 bands, and then we ended up on Channel 7, ABC, on the show called Battle of the Bands. Now, Battle of the Bands was the first original like American Idol.
Yes.
Dick Clark was the pioneer of Battle of the Bands. So my band was selected, got on TV, performed. We didn't win, but one thing came out of it was I was able to meet Dick Clark, and I asked him. Now here's the thing, y'all gotta know. What they say, closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
If you want to get somewhere, don't be afraid to ask. People are like, God, gee, you always talking and asking for stuff. But that's the way I learned how to get ahead. Sometimes just ask. So I asked Dick Clark, "Hey, we're not gonna win." He said, "Well, is there anything else I can do for you?" And I said, "Well, how about if I come? Can you be my mentor?" And he said, "Yeah." So I had this He was a millionaire back
Yes.
then.
Yeah.
Dick Clark. He said, "Okay, yeah, you can be a mentor. I'll be your mentor." And he let me come up to his office 3 times a week in Hollywood. And then he got me an office on the Warner Brothers lot.
Yeah.
And that's how I started learning about television and film. And he was my mentor for like 3 years. And then that's where I was able to develop my own television show. And that's when I got the bug for TV. And I think that's how we all connected on the Dub show and all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were doing dub and you were.
Right, I was doing a show called
Well, I think because of your show, Step to the Mic.
Step to the
That
Mic.
was
Yeah.
part of it because we had the stage and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had the Pepsi
Yeah,
stage.
that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, you're right. I had a show called Step to the Mic, which was like a urban American Idol. I was bringing artists that were unsigned, and I would give them a platform to perform on my show, and then I was able to connect with the Dove Show, which was the biggest car show in all around the world. The Dove Show. Why'd they call it the Dove Show?
The magazine.
Dub Magazine,
for
yes,
20s,
sir.
20s. Dub is
Yeah, the
20.
20, yeah,
Yeah.
the 20th rims,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So 20 dub was a slang word for 20. So
Okay.
that's where it became. And Miles at Herman and Hatham, they just made the
Herman,
made the
yeah.
thing. They made the thing. So
So I had the hottest urban unsigned act for
so
show
who
for unsigned
so
artists.
who came out like who came out of that show? Like who made it? Or
Man, oh man, there was a couple of artists I just can't think of their names right now, man. I'll come back to it. But yeah, I've had the opportunity to have a lot of unsigned artists perform on my show, then they end up getting record deals and going on to the next level. I can't think of their names right now. But I was able to do a couple of shows with the Dub Show. And that's when I really got that bug, like I need to get this show to the next level. So for like total 10 years, I was doing shows in clubs
Mhm.
and touring it with small production companies and just setting up my own show. And next thing you know, I was able to go back to Dick Clark and pitch Step to the Mic TV show to Dick Clark.
Yeah.
And that was a good ride because I didn't have a host at the time, but I was able to connect with KRS-One. And then we turned it into Step to the Mic featuring
I think I
KRS-One.
remember that. Like I remember some of the like KRS One with Step to the Mic. I remember some of the promos and I
Yeah,
remember the show itself. It was
yeah. So we
I'm old, so yeah, I remember.
You remember? Okay, yeah. So
Hopefully
we
we have some old
shot some
people.
pilots and
Yeah.
we shopped it, and then Dick Clark actually picked it up, and then we just sat on the shelf for a little bit, and then Dick Clark sold the company, and whoever he sold Dick Clark Production Company to, they put everything on hold, and then they dropped us, and I'm like, oh, we were so close,
Yeah.
so close, and then that's why I just said, you know what, I'll just go independent and just put it back into the clubs and. Then the next thing you know, I decided to pivot. You know, you gotta always pivot. Let me tell you this: I went from church, gospel to R&B to hip hop. You know, you gotta pivot, man. You gotta be able to just don't be stuck in one down this road. Sometimes you gotta make a right and you gotta make a left. You gotta be able to make a turn, and then when you make that turn, then go that way. You know,
Yeah.
but that's one thing I've always done. Whenever stuff starts to get a little like stale, I was like, you know what, it's time to pivot.
Yeah.
And so I pivoted from Step to the Mic, and then I went into sports.
Let's go back real quick.
Okay.
Tell me the difference of like you work with Eazy E. He was your dude, right?
Yeah.
And then you work with Dick Clark.
Right.
Let me
Big difference.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
I mean I'm like Easy was he was groundbreaking. He was trying he
Right.
was learning, he was doing stuff. But I guess, you had Jerry, you had Easy, you
Yeah.
had Ice Cube, you had all of them were in that same group. So all the
Yeah.
people that were there, that whole different environment to Dick Clark.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
KRS-One was also
KRS-One, right.
another person. So tell us like the difference between how it was working with each one of them
Yeah.
and what was the big what did you get out of it, and what could they have got out of working with each other?
Got it. What I got out of it was being able to change hats.
Mm.
Like sometimes you got to be able to flip. You know, Easy was straight gangster from the hood, and I grew up in the hood, so I was able to relate and be able to, be on their level. And I was a musician, so that kind of helped. But also being able to take when I'm in a different location, how to kind of like not be so hood
Mm.
or gangster because I wanted to, another chance to open up another door. And sometimes back then, stereotype was bad. It was like,
Yes.
you too ghetto, or you can be what they call pop or white.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be in the middle. I just wanted to be me because I was able to kind of like transition. So working with Easy was straight hood, and that's that gangster stuff. I grew up drive-bys, doing gigs with flat jackets on. Scared to go do a gig because somebody might be there and just go crazy. To going over to the other side, seeing how Dick Clark was running, like, whoa, I like this. I ain't got to worry about getting killed.
Yeah.
He was putting me in meetings, or I was able to watch him do meetings. And, it is what it is. You go to the record executives meetings with Eazy and L.A. Dre and them, you see how they operate. Then you go to a TV meeting with Dick Clark. It's like two different worlds, bro.
Yeah.
So I was able to cross over and see what it's like over here and what it's like over there because there wasn't a lot of black guys or black men in the television world. And I think that's what I loved about Dick Clark. He gave me a shot.
Yeah.
So I was able to kind of like cross over, and then working with KRS One from the East Coast, that's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
But he was cool. It was cool. So I got a taste of all of it, being able to change hats. You know,
Yeah.
when I'm in the hood, I just gotta act hood and be
Yeah.
hood. When I'm with the suits, we called them the suits. Then I had to kind of like change my dialect and the way I
Did you work
spoke.
with Jerry?
A little bit, but Jerry was kind of like, because in the Easy world, they kind of like separated us.
Yeah.
Certain people deal with certain people.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to get with Jerry and them that much. I would see them here and there when they're picking up the records or the tapes or the CDs and stuff, but
Yeah.
we didn't get in the business side. See, that's what I didn't like about being in that world. They kept me as a musician. I was just a musician. So I was able to see the business side when I was messing with Dick Clark.
Yeah.
Got me? Because
Yeah.
he's, you know, growing up in the hood, it's like what's mine is mine, and
Yeah.
they'll give you what they'll give you.
Yes.
But on the other side, I was able to see that part of the world and learn the business side. Because that's one thing I guess you bringing back memories now. I was really able to learn how the business was ran when I was with Dick Clark
Yeah.
and them because they taught me. But being in the hood and working on the hip hop side,
Yeah.
nobody.
Because like on that hood side, you're like the runner. They're
Yeah,
the connect. So you
yep,
gotta they keep you here.
yeah. Keep us over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Keep us
Do
over
do this.
there.
You do this you, and
Right.
then they have this up here.
Right, and
And
their
then
feet is a little bit
yeah, yeah,
down here. Let me
yes,
drop some crumbs over
yeah,
here. So I didn't like that being in that part. I just wanted to. I knew there was more.
mhm,
Just like I was able to venture out and see a different side of of LA. I was like, there's more.
mhm.
So when I was able to, that's why I guess I asked Dick Clark, hey, you know, could you be my mentor? And he said, yeah. I was like, whoa. So yeah, so it was able to. I was able to see two different sides
Okay.
of the world that way.
Just have to ask, right?
Yeah, man, open your mouth. Telling y'all, you guys gotta ask. It doesn't hurt because you can get 20 no's, but that 21st yes could be the one that
Yeah.
could just open the doors. Like my basketball world. I mean, I was doing basketball with a former NBA player, and because he came to me and asked me, "Hey man, why don't you help me out with my basketball world?" I could have said no, but I said, "Yeah,
Yes.
all right, let's do it." And next thing you know, this basketball thing is like,
Yeah.
this is cool.
All right. So we went from let me see. We went from steps to the mic
Yeah,
and the show, and then you've transitioned into sports, right?
right. Transitioned, a pivot once
Yeah.
again.
Pivot. Yeah. Pivot.
Pivoted, and it was during some hard times during my life, going through a divorce. Oh my, well, wait, let me back up. I ran a record label too
Okay.
for like 5 years.
Okay.
I ran a record label right after the Easy and all that stuff, so that was a nice ride. But
What was it called?
Cameron Records, and it was because I asked somebody, check this. You know, I used to work a job where I was delivering water. Great job, fun, but I was getting tired of it. But then when I started delivering to the certain part of Long Beach, rich area, I was able to run into like a lot of people with money.
Yeah.
So somebody introduced me to a guy, and I asked him would he be interested in investing into a record label. And this is '99. So by me asking that guy, he said, "Yeah, let's do it." Bro, that's crazy. So I quit my job and I ran a record label for like 5 years, and it was called Cameron Records, named after my son. And I had a R&B side, R&B hip hop side, and then I had a children's side. But because I asked that guy,
Yeah.
he was able to put up a lot of money, and we started a record label. And then 9/11 hit, and everything fell.
So
So
who was your artist?
I had two artists, and we had an artist by the name of Brown Eyes, which was she was a hip hop rapper, young girl. I discovered her at a talent show at the Boys and Girls Club. She came in and rocked it, and I signed her first, put her record out. It did well, got great reviews. We're selling at VIP Records in Long Beach.
Mhm.
The record was, man, it was probably one of the best. She was a young Eve. Just before Eve came out, Brown Eyes was out south in Long Beach, killing it, touring. And then I had another artist by the name of Javon, which was a rapper slash singer, and his record did good. And then I had a children's artist by the name of Holly, and she did she was doing good, and then we were just starting the marketing, shooting videos and all that, and then 9/11 hit, and that shut everything down. And
Yeah.
just we closed down the record label, and I had to go back and get a job again. Oh man! So then that's when I ventured off into the basketball world, which is what we got today, which is called B-Baller Hoop School.
Yeah.
So I met a former NBA player. He came to me. Somebody introduced me to him because they saw what I was doing, step to the mic and all this other stuff. But he had just retired, and he asked me to help him start his basketball company. And I said, all right. Shook hands, and we went for it. So I was the brains behind it, and he was the face. He played. He was a two-time All-American. The boy was bad. Mo Ager. He was good. Great basketball player. Big on social media. This is when social media first came out.
Yeah.
I think he was huge on Twitter and Facebook. He was killing it.
No MySpace.
No, and MySpace. So he was yeah, MySpace. That's right, MySpace, and he was killing it before. I think Instagram was coming out. But anyway, he was big on the internet, and he just asked me would I help him start his basketball company.
Yeah.
So I took a chance, and we started his company. I was the brains behind it as far as doing all the business, setting up all the deals. We were in like 6 different cities doing basketball camps and working for Parks and Rec, and we were killing it. And then we had a little hiccup, and I had to pivot again. And he went his way, I went my way. And I said, you know what? I did it with him. I could do it by myself. So I just took a chance and started B-Baller Hoop School. Best thing I could have ever did. And it was right just before COVID. Yeah, we were rolling. Yeah, before COVID. Yep, before COVID, I started B-Baller Hoops. I had these contracts in Parks and Rec. I was the biggest, biggest basketball company in Long Beach. Killing it, bro. We had Parks and Rec. I was just killing it. And then COVID hit. Bam! You remember that one, right? They shut down all basketball. Couldn't play anywhere. All my kids were gone. All my camps. They shut down my company pretty much. So I was sitting there and I had to pivot again. I was like, well, they can shut me out outside. I'm inside, but what about outside? So I was looking for a park. And I just started, when COVID started getting a little bit better, I just started personal training. I started picking it up again. People were still hitting me up. I said, I can't get in the gym. There is no gyms. I could not get in the gym. So I just went and asked somebody, and they said yes. I took a parking lot behind a church outdoors.
Yeah, I was there.
That's right.
They called me up there.
That's right. Come on, hey, man, help me out. Help me out. And I converted it into an outdoor parking basketball facility, and it's the best thing I could ever did because that $30K that I invested, I raised the money. I had my own little money. I just said, let me go for it. And I hit up Donald, my homie, and said, man, let me help me build this. And he was like, all right. So we just took this parking lot. I made a deal with the church. The pastor, he believed in it. He was like, yeah, because this church membership he didn't have nobody coming to church.
Yeah. He
just had this big old building, and 4 or 5 people were showing up now. So he just said, all right, let's go for it, because he thought it would help bring people back to the church. It brought people back, but it brought people back to the outside.
To the back.
To the back of the church. And next thing you know, man, that thing just blew up, man. Kids were being dropped off. I started leagues again. I started my own little league. And
you started leaguing that little
half
court. It was half court.
Check this. So it's another thing. You just never know. So I didn't have I was raising money to build it. And I ran into a snag because it had not concrete, asphalt.
Asphalt, yeah.
Bro, that stuff get hot.
No, I told you that.
Yeah,
I was telling you.
The kids falling that, man, they gonna get burnt.
And then you were saying you're gonna put the floor on top of it, so that's gonna get hot. And
yeah.
Working.
I was like, oh man. So I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And I said, forget it. Let me just look online, see if I can find somebody selling the court. And I found somebody just before COVID. I think it hit. Or COVID, just before it hit. I was moving forward. I put a deposit down on the church, the parking lot, and I told them I'm going to do it. And they said, okay, don't worry about it. Let's go for it. When you're ready, start. And then I started the process, but I realized I needed a court for outdoors. So I went online. I found the guy selling the court. He was in Orange County, Huntington Beach. This is crazy. So I called him up. He was selling for like 17 grand or something like that. That was going to eat up my whole budget, just the floor. So I said, okay, I want it, right? I said, I'll find a way. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
A week went by. He texted me like, "You still want the floor?" And I saw the text. I was like, "Bro," because I didn't know what I was gonna
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So I saw the text and I said, "Man," I said, "I do want it, but I'm sorry. I don't know what's gonna happen with COVID. I don't know. I don't have the money right now." And then I hit send and I just sat there and wait. Then I hit a ding. I was like, oh, so I opened it up. He said, "Don't worry about the money. Just come and get it." Bro.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice, bro. And that's what I'm saying. You just never know,
Yeah.
man. So I just said, I typed, really? And he said, yeah, just come and get it. Give me a letter of donation and just come pick it up. I said, all right. Type, okay, give me a minute. Call Donald. I got a floor. Let's go. So we rented a truck, me, Donald, and this one Mexican brother. We drove all the way to Huntington Beach, man. Pulled up, ring the buzzer. They opened up the gates. Man, the house was sitting on the Dude, it was like a TV show, man. It was like, Donald, we looked at each other like, are you serious? The gates just opened. We took a left, a right, left. The house sitting right on the water over the hill. It was like, this is not real. So me and Donald pulled up, with the Mexican brother in the other truck. We pulled up. I knocked on the door. He said, "Hey, coach." I said, "How you doing?" He said, "You here to pick it up?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, it's over there." I was like, "You mean it's not in the backyard?" He said, "No, man, it's over there in my tennis court. You just gotta go get it, break it down, man." So he pointed over there, and it was sitting on the hill. Unreal, bro. So me and Donald drove, backed the truck up, and he said, "It's yours." So we just started breaking it piece by piece. And this was during COVID.
Yeah.
Me and Donald had masks on. We looking at each other like, man, we might die out here. But I love you, man. I love you, man. So we just started ripping it apart and threw it in the back of this truck. And he said, "Give me my letter," and gave him a letter and drove and dropped it off at the church. And that's how it all started. So we put that down, man. And it was the best thing I could have ever did. Best thing because I kind of like believed. I saw it. I saw it. You got to have a vision. And I just went for it. But you can't. You can have a vision, but you still got to put in the work.
Yeah, you have to execute.
Dude, because people got visions all day. And I want to do this and I want to do
I
that.
do it all the time.
But you got to put in the work.
Yes.
And how you going to get there if you don't put in the work? It ain't going to come to you. You got to go get it.
Yeah.
So I was the kind of guy like, let me just go get it. Or let me at least put in the work because something else will happen. And that's what it's about manifesting. Manifest, yeah, but you still got to put in the work to make the manifestation become true.
Yes.
How you going to get it if you just sit here and manifest? You can manifest all day, but if you don't, you still got to put in the work. So me and Donald, I put in the work, bro.
Yeah.
I was 5-6 days a week. I was on that outdoors in the heat.
Yes, it was hot. I remember.
Bro,
that.
you remember you came out?
Yeah, I remember. I was like,
I know you was like, "Are y'all serious?" Man, I was. You
well,
saw the look in my eye.
you
I
guys
was
telling me
serious.
like we gotta do this. I'm like, well, we gotta take this off, and you gotta take the tree out because,
Oh,
and then you want the poles. The poles are there. You gotta cut those
man.
down. I was trying to help you guys, but I'm like, I was working, so I'm like, man, just rent this, rent that. You guys
Right.
can do it yourself.
Yeah, because you were like, I was looking at your eyes, and I was saying, "I need this gone. I need this gone."
Yeah.
But
But I see, and I told you, I go, it's gonna cost you a lot of money if
Yeah.
somebody does it. But if you guys do it yourself, it's not that hard.
Right, and that's the thing. I had to learn. I was like, okay, I had to take your feeding me that to kind of like, yeah, he's right. Because I got out there with a jackhammer. I ain't never worked no
That's why
jackhammer.
that's what I said. I
bro.
go to Home Depot, just rent a jackhammer. It's not hard. You rent one, it's $40 a day, something like that.
Man,
You
you're
can-
right, and that's what I taught. Believe in yourself.
Yeah, because
It's
Donald's
like-
ready. Donald's
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'm
yeah.
ready. I'm ready. Donald was ready to go right now.
Donald, man,
He was ready.
Donald go to war with you, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
So it was like, even when you have a obstacle, man, don't be afraid. Sometimes you just gotta fight a little harder. Like the obstacles we had was the concrete, the big old tree.
Yeah.
That tree was
And then
huge.
you had that big
That
hole.
big hole.
Yeah, and I'm like, if you go, like, you do it this way, and I was trying to help you. Like, I seen your vision,
Right.
and I was like, but if like the company that I was working for did it, it would have been a lot of money.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine.
But you guys could have. I was trying to just get this in cement
Right.
and break this up. Once you guys started breaking it up, then just put the concrete, just bags. You guys would be fine because
And that's
you're
just
not
what
putting a lot of,
happened,
yeah, not
right.
putting a lot of heat, a lot of weight, and so you guys did it.
It was, dude, because that tree, people were looking at me like, bro, nah, you can't do this. And I was like, that tree got to go. It was one of the biggest trees I've ever seen. Right in the middle. I mean, we were like 10 inches away from actually being able to lay the floor, but the tree was in the way.
Yeah.
And the concrete was in the way. So, you know, me and Donald and you was like, okay, let's go. You know, we got the hammers and jackhammers, and we got people to come and help tear the tree down, dig the roots out. And then I got the floor down. Once I got the floor down, it was like, all right, I see it. It can happen. People were laughing at me because it was a mini court, but I was the only guy doing basketball during COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody was coming to me trying to rent that space, bro.
Yes.
Because it was like, I said, look, it's a half court. No, it was a mini court.
Yeah, yeah.
A mini. It wasn't a full regulation court, but at least you can play basketball on it. Had the full-on rims, lines. Donald laced it, bro. Actually, if you go to Google right now and type in b-ball and hoops, you might be able to see what it looked like 2 years ago, because I just recently shut it down. But anyway, yeah, man. So I built it, and then my first day. Well, I got to back up. I had this partner by the name of Demetra Hunter.
Yeah, he was there.
Pearson.
I think he was there.
Yeah, she was like my right hand for b-ballers, but then she got sick and disappeared. What happened was, right when I decided to go and rent this building, she got stung by a mosquito and caught malaria.
Malaria?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 in a million, right?
Yeah.
Knocked her complete. She just disappeared. I thought she was dying of COVID because that's when everybody was just disappearing.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, man, I ain't heard from Terry. I ain't heard from Demetra. What? So I'm texting. So anyway, she's like my admin person. She was really helping me a lot on the business side. But sometimes stuff happens. You got to dig deep because I didn't even have her. I just said, forget it. Let me go build this thing. Whenever she comes back, I'll name the court after her or whatever. I didn't know where she was. So anyway, so just letting you know, you can do it, man.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's basically your mindset. Sometimes you just got to say, I'm going to do this sink or swim, right? I heard a story that the Vikings, when they used to go take an island or if they want to go fight, they pull up in their ship. They put a hole in their ship. It's like, you can't go back to the ship because it's going to sink. So you got to go win. So I always had that philosophy, like, I got a hole in my ship. I got to make this work. I'm going to make this work. Whatever happens, I just got to make it work. So without Demetra, I built that place, and she showed up just on my opening day. When after me and Donald finished, she got out the car. She was all frail, boy. She weighed like 80 pounds, man. And I was like, dang. And I was like, you okay? She's like, no, I got stung by a mosquito. Woo woo. And I was like, did it happen here? Because she came and visited me once. But anyway, just to say that was the day we opened, or that I opened B-Ball and Hoops, I had 2 kids show up. Just 2. And I was like, oh, man. And then I was able to get a loan from one of the PP when they were giving out the loans. Man, but again, I took a chance. Because everybody was trying to get these loans and just pocket them. But I said, no, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to get a loan and build me a business. And it was the best thing I could ever did because my buddy was like, yo, man, take one of these loans because you got everything in place. But that loan helped me survive through the tough time because you need to have money in the bank.
Yeah.
You got to have a stash. So if you want to start a business, you got to have some finances. You got to have something in place because you're going to be spending a lot of money. You got the startup, materials, building it, you know.
You got to have some working capital.
Working capital. You know, if you got a credit card, something, you need some financial backing somewhere. So I was able to obtain a loan to hold on until it start picking up because the first week I had 5 kids. Yeah. Dude, I was like, oh, I gotta pay rent.
At least you didn't have electricity.
Yeah.
You didn't have none of those stuff. You know, you were outside.
Yeah.
When the sun went down, that was it.
That was it. That was done. I was like, it's dark out here. Can't play basketball with no flashlight on. Yeah, that's right, yo. I was outside, out in the back, in a parking lot. So anyway.
What happens when the sun would go?
I got some solar lights.
Because you were on, let me see.
I was in the sunset at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
It goes behind the building, and there's my son. I'm like, oh. So daylight saving time will help me a lot because I'm like, okay, the time changed. it stays bright a little longer. But then I was just dealing with the elements, dude. I was dealing with
The heat.
the
It was hot. It
heat.
was hot that year too.
Yeah,
It
that
was hot
year.
that year. It was hot that year. You guys were
Bro,
out
I
there.
was crispy. I was darker than this shirt. I was out there, man. Had my little bandito hat on,
Yeah.
looking like a Mexican man. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this,
Yeah.
man.
Don used to call me, man, it's hot out here. We out here.
We were out there doing cement and 100 and wait, it was 100, but when you count the asphalt, it's 10 degrees hotter.
Yeah.
Cause that sun's coming off that ground,
Because
bro.
that's what he told me. He goes, yeah, we have the floor, and the floor's not gonna warp. I said, well, you got to put like there was a barrier I told you guys to put under it to put something else so that it keep it.
We needed what we needed was the rubber.
Yeah.
That goes underneath.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's
That was the, yeah.
We needed the rubber, but I ran out of money. I was like, let's just put it down and see what happens. But it worked.
Yeah.
The kids were getting dirty. They were coming out, but it was like perfect. But yeah, man, that I had elements, bro, because I also had to deal with the heat, and then I had to deal with the dew, because
Yeah.
when it got cold,
Yeah.
that ground gets slippery.
Slippery.
And then I had to cut it short because like, oh, kids slipping and falling. Like, oh, that's a liability. So I had a lot of things I had to deal with being outside. But at the end of the day, it was still the best thing I could ever did
Yeah.
because I was the only guy doing basketball. People were paying me just to come and rent 30 minutes on my court, my little half court, because I had rims and it was safe, gated, you know. And then these parents started dropping their kids off because all the basketball programs are closed. So I started turning around like, okay, I can pay the loan, I can pay myself, I can pay Demetra, I can pay coaches. And then I just ran out of room because it just got too big.
It was kind of crazy. I mean, where you guys were in Long Beach, how was the area?
I was right in Signal Hill.
Yeah, because like if you look at it, where the building, where the church was, there were no houses.
No houses.
That's
crazy.
Wait up, there was one project a little bit up, and by like that little shopping center by Costco.
Yeah, by Costco, right.
But most of it was all industrial,
Dude.
almost around there. So I was wondering, like,
How
if you
is
go
it gonna
over the
get
hill,
there?
you
Right.
go over the hill,
Right.
that's where you had
Signal
those lot of
Hill.
houses.
Right,
But they
right.
didn't seem like they had a lot of
No
money.
no kids.
No money either.
No
That didn't look like a lot of money on that side.
Right.
You know, but I was just wondering, like, how. Like,
word of mouth just got it out there. You know, because I didn't even think about me not being in a residential area or
location,
foot
right?
traffic or how I'm gonna get customers.
But maybe that helped you by being away from the people and the hood and those. Then you're out there. You're in like in a different community, like not a community, but in a like a. It was commercial.
Right, commercial.
So if you're in the commercial area, they bring them in. There's no one. They don't have to go through anything.
Right,
And
that's true.
You know, maybe that's what helped out a lot.
Could have been, yeah. Industrial areas where I was located,
Yeah.
and no foot traffic, no drive-by traffic.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that. I didn't get the benefits of having that part, but the word of mouth,
Yeah.
and then the internet, social media, I took full advantage of that. Being able to just Instagram. I didn't get it, but I was like, you know what? Let me just post everything. And I did because I started posting me building it when I was out there on the ground, spray painting was, and people were following it, and then that's why I said, you know what? Let me just launch a fund GoFundMe. People were supporting it because they saw the results. They saw, yeah, he's legit. Look what he's doing. Let's help out with the kids. Next thing you know, bro, I raised money. I was able to just fund it. But yeah, the area was kind of weird. But at the end of the day, it was the best area to be in because my next step was I got so big, I had to kind of like just hold on to my little outdoor parking lot because the pastor died.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy, dude. The guy who gave me the deal, who said, yeah, go for it. I see your vision. I'm all in. He had cancer and it came back. And, you know, I appreciate Tim, what he did. But he kind of like set the bar like, yo, go for it. I believe in what you're doing. And his cancer came back and then he died right at my 2-year mark. And then when he died, bro, I was like, oh. And I was looking at Demetra. She had tears in her eyes. I was like, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. We just got to ride this out. And then the new regime came in at the church and started all these rules all of a sudden. Couldn't use the bathroom, charging me. Man, they just went in on me, bro.
Yeah.
So I just said, you know, but that's about adversity.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going. Don't let something like that deter you or frustrate. It's going to frustrate you, but you just got to like use that as energy and say, you know what, it's okay. It's all right. y'all pissing on me now, but I'll be all right. So I just rolled it out for like a year, and then I was able to find two new gyms in the area, and I just took over those gyms and then shut my little spot down, and now I got two gyms in Long Beach and doing good, man. So just don't give up, man. I love to talk because my dad's a preacher, so I'm sorry I'm talking a lot, but I'm telling you right now how I was able to get from being behind that church is I took another chance. I asked. I went to this recreation center right around the corner. I've been seeing them for years. I go in there, they got basketball popping, but they had shut down. It's called the Jewish Community Center. So I just happened to be with my daughter one day, and I said, let me go over here and just. I've tried many times to get in that place, but somebody was already in there doing basketball, and they wouldn't let me in. So I just took a chance. This is right after my 2 year mark when I kind of made up my mind that I need to get out of the church. I just drove over there. I went in, walked in, had a B-baller shirt on, and this cool dude came out, was walking out. Yo, 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 man, look, I'm a coach. How can I do basketball here? I would love to bring a basketball program. And he was like, really? And I said, yeah, man, I do basketball around the corner from you guys. And he said, yeah, I heard about you guys. I said, well, look, can I get a meeting? Because I would love to bring basketball here. He said, you're local, right? I said, yeah, I'm local. He said, well, give me a card. I just happened to have one more business card. Gave him a business card, and he said, okay, I'll call you. And I said, do you have a card? He gave me his card. It said, Kevin, Grazer, CEO, uh, Jewish Community Center. I was like, oh, this is the dude. So I said, man, look, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. He said, well, we were just talking about basketball. So, yeah, maybe we will give you a chance. 2, 3 months go by, I didn't hear anything. Then finally I got the call. Let's do a meeting. Me and Dimitri went down there and did a meeting. I pitched it, just like I pitched to the other church. Hey, I can bring you. Because that place is, dude, huge gym,
Yeah.
no foot traffic, no basketball. They were just renting it out to their members, and maybe 5 people would step on that court. Um, so I went in there with the vision and said, look, if you just give me a chance, I'll pack this place out with kids. I'll bring kids. And they were like, let's give it a shot. So they gave me a shot. Next, I just took my little ballers over there, started doing leagues. Next thing you know, I put another team in there, B-Ballers League. Every Saturday and Sunday, all basketball. People coming in and out, in and out. I shut my other spot down so quick and just said, okay, let me just step over here now and make it work. So that's why I always go back to that thing of manifesting, but you still got to go put in the work. If I wouldn't have took a chance and drove over there that day and caught that guy coming out and asked, I wouldn't be where I am today with the
Yeah.
program because he just happened to be coming out. I just happened to be coming in, and he that one yes. That's what I'm saying. He could have said no, we're not interested, but you just never know that one. Sometimes somebody say yes one time, it could just be that one yes you really needed, and that's where B Ballers is now. We're the #1 basketball facility. So what I give my give back is I give kids scholarships now. Um, if they're in the underserved community, I kind of like give them a ride. I take them if I see the talent, and I know because some kids don't appreciate things that come for free.
Yeah.
But if I see they really want it, I'll take the opportunity to say, okay, look, you get to play for me for free. Because every kid that plays in my leagues or my teams, they have to pay. That's how I got
Yeah.
to make the money because I got to pay for the gym time and the coaches and all that. But I do give scholarships. So if you know any kids out there in my area, Signal Hill, Long Beach, Lakewood, Cerritos, that are interested in basketball, I'm willing to give away scholarships. I give away scholarships. You would have to send me an email, and then we'll just talk further about it. But that's my give back. I do give kids an opportunity to play for free when they can't. I know they can't afford it, but
Yeah.
I'll take care of them. So I'm definitely looking for more sponsors now. I have a couple of sponsors, Canes. They take care of me pretty good. I'm dealing with some other sponsors, but sponsors come and go. They make promises and they bounce. I hate that part of it.
Yeah.
But if I can just get one shoe sponsor, because I touch so many kids. So if you know any shoe companies,
What about
basketball
what
shoe
about
companies,
Shaq?
it's hard to get to him. I know he's got a lot going on, but I can't get to him because it's who you know.
You know a couple people that know him. You know
Man,
a couple people that know him.
yeah, I know one person, but I don't know what happened to him in that relationship, so I just let it
Oh,
go. But I'm the number one basketball company in Long Beach. I have an elite team now. I've never had AAU. I got two elite teams that are beating people. I have 10 regular travel ball teams, and I'm from the ages 3 to 16. So if I can find the right shoe sponsor, I have a gym, they can brand it all day. I have the number one basketball. If you Google B-ball or hoops, and that's all with hard work. I didn't buy I bought ads, but I didn't buy a lot of companies buy their space
mm.
on Yelp and all that. No, this is all legit, real reviews. Check this out, dog. I got a franchise now. I'm franchising it.
Yeah.
So if you want to start a basketball school, hit me up. But I'm just gonna tell you, you have to have a gym.
Yes.
If you got a gym or access to a gym, you win. Gym is golden. If you have a facility and you have access to it, you win. So I have this brother who whose kids participated in my b-ball and hoops class for like 2 years. He was from Atlanta. Cool guy, Kevin Black. Businessman too, an accountant. But he was studying how I was doing business, and he was like, "Yo, man, this is great. How you doing?" And my kids are having a great time.
Yeah.
He's a basketball head, Lakers forever. What's up, Kev? Anyway, he studied my program as long as his kids were involved, and he was asking me questions. And then he took a meeting with me, and me and Demetra, and I was like, "Man, I don't know if I want to do this franchise thing." And so, him and I went back and forth. He moved to Atlanta, bought a house in Atlanta, and he had access to a gym in Atlanta. And he's like, "Yo, man, let me do this in Atlanta. Let me just try it out." So I paid a lawyer. We wrote it up. Now he's doing it. So it's B-Baller Hoops Roswell.
Okay.
And he's killing it. And he just sends me a little percentage every now and then. So I'm like cool with it. But now that just opened up the doors for franchising. So or licensing. So I'm able to license the brand to anybody that wants to start basketball because he pretty much used my whole formula and just recreated it out there. So I'm trying to be like a McDonald's or who's the number one right now? Chick-fil-A. I'm trying to be like Chick-fil-A, but I know it'll come in time. But right now, so there's a B-Baller Hoops in Atlanta right now. Yeah, Roswell. So if anybody out there want to start a business, hit me up. I got the hook up. But back to this, I need a sponsor. If I get a shoe line, any shoe company that wants to get involved, or a clothing line, or sports apparel, that want to have access to a lot of kids and parents, because I see these kids coming with new kicks, dude, every week. I'm like, dude, you just had a pair of Jordans, you barely worn them, but they're growing, they're getting
Yes.
older.
Yeah.
But man, if I can man. So if you can reach out, man, Shaq would be happy with my little company because I'm doing good, but I can do better with a brand like that. But that's the story. So B-Ball Hoops is my go-to. It's what I do for a living now, full-time basketball.
So what about the new thing you're looking at right now? Huh? You want to talk about that?
Oh no, I don't want to talk about that right now. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's still really early development. I gotta wait until I got to see what's going on because right now it's like, well, we gonna move or not, So it's kind of like stuck. So
Well, I mean, you could keep that one then.
yeah. So my goal is well, I got him in my side pocket.
Yeah.
I'm just like waiting on them to make the move. If they make the move, then I'll put the announcement. But I haven't really announced it yet because I don't know what's gonna happen with it. So meanwhile, I just keep this going, and I talked to a couple of. I have an NBA player that's a good friend of mine, and I'm speaking with him now about starting another business on basketball. So doors are opening. It's just not fast enough, man. God, open this door up, open this door. But you got to keep banging. You got to keep knocking, man. Yeah, I'll tell you a story. I used to drive cars picking up people. And I remember picking up this old man. Well, I picked up this one client. He was an old man. So anyway, I pull up to the mansion, driving up the hill. Back in, Buzz back in. I was driving a town car, nice black car. I get out, this little sugar honey come out. She like in her 50s, 40s. All this. I was like, wow, okay. So she gets in the car, and then here he comes. His suspenders all over.
Yeah.
He puts it in the Louis Vuitton bags, put them in the back of the car. He jumps in the car. We driving. And I hear him and her, they talking, having fun. And when he get him to the airport, he slips me $400, $400. And I was like, "You have any advice to give me?" He just said, "Son, keep swinging." I was like, "What?" "Just keep swinging." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Just don't give up. Keep swinging." I said, "Well, how did you make your millions?" He said, "Me and Arnold Schwarzenegger started um, pumping iron, Venice Beach, all that muscle stuff back
Mhm.
in the day. Him and I started business, and that's how I started. So just keep swinging." I
Yeah.
was like, "Thank you." So to this day, I just keep swinging,
Yeah.
man. Keep swinging, because if you keep swinging, you will hit the ball.
Yeah.
You hit it. You hit it. So
Yeah.
that's my story, and
So
I'm
you're gonna
here
branch out.
today.
You're gonna branch out into more like not talking about the other, but you think you're gonna branch out if you get more built like building like maybe different kind of like sports like football.
Absolutely. I definitely want to, like, if you have a venue, I'm gonna give a secret away, but if you have a venue, it just can't be basketball.
Yeah.
It has to be other,
Yeah, because there's other sports all year round.
all year round, all day around too. Because if you just focus on the genre that's they don't do anything until after they get out of school, what about the hours that the building sits there and there's no basketball
Yeah.
because everybody's in school? So you got to kind of like, so yeah, I'm actually into to venturing out to try and get a multi-purpose facility.
Yeah, because my brother's kids, they're running track, play
Okay,
softball. They one plays football. They're just and they go to
different
different.
every year,
And my
right?
brother's been, my brother's now he's coach of Rosemead, so
Okay,
he's the head coach of Rosemead, but his kids run track, they do
right,
this, they do that, and
right.
they do a lot of things. So
Right. And
it's
he's moving around in all
yeah,
these
yeah.
different places.
Well, his
So
his
why not
well,
have a
well,
training facility
well,
that?
Chris takes him, the wife takes him here and there.
Oh,
I
he
don't know,
ain't doing it.
I don't
She
know how
doing
she
it.
no she they both do it, but I don't know how she does it. She's busy, but
Right.
yeah, they're I don't know how they do it. I'm just
But when you have kids and they you want to help them, because it's funny because I have kids and like my daughter, my youngest daughter, she's big into basketball, and you do what you got to do,
no,
get them to
you
practice
gotta
to
talk to
help.
Big Boy.
Huh?
Big Boy's kid also plays
Really?
basketball.
All
Big Boy
right.
Power.
That's right. He has a
Jaden,
son,
yeah,
right?
Jaden plays basketball.
Really?
Yeah, see,
All right.
just like talk to him, tell him how it's going.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon's son, I think one of his sons, I think he plays basketball, but he also runs track
Oh,
or
really?
football. Yeah,
Man,
see that?
yeah.
See,
It's just
you gotta
getting
be,
to
you
the.
gotta get those stars, the one
Yeah.
stars, get the kids out there.
Right. Right.
I mean,
Because.
I know that Nick Cannon, he kind of goes incognito. He just kind of just there and he doesn't
Hmm.
want no attention. Just like we're here,
Hmm.
my kid's running. I don't want to be bothered. That's what's good. If you can get the people
Yeah,
like
if I can
that.
get them right, and then give them a location to where they can just chill and, like you said, don't be bothered.
Yeah, because I mean they can still
Because.
go to like they're the track meets and stuff, but he just
Right.
goes there and just like a regular
The regular
person, just
person.
watch the
Right.
kid. They
Yeah.
don't want any special treatment. They just want
They
just
just
what's what's
want
going.
privacy to be able to enjoy
Yeah,
their.
yeah. As long as
Yeah.
like you're like in your group, if the group that you're in, like the whole like the thing, they're not all just let me get your autograph and this and
Right.
that. They
Right.
just treat them like regular people. Then
That's yeah. That's one thing about me having a facility where I can accommodate that
yeah,
too. When they want to be private and still watch the games and like have a box per se, like how they do at Staples Center or not Staples Center, it's called Crypto now.
yeah.
How the celebrities will be able to post up and not be bothered. But
Put them down the bottom. Put them down the bottom. Just go stand out there. Just don't dress all crazy. Just dress like a
Right.
regular person. You'll be good.
Right. So the goal is to have a facility that does multi because what's big now, bro, I don't think you know, but pickleball is huge.
Yeah.
So, I'm starting to look into other avenues to where I can have a venue. Because right now, my son he's a professional tennis player, but he's like getting into the pickleball. I was like, Dad, we need a pickleball. And one day I was watching ESPN, and then pickleball league. I'm like, oh, they had the old school guys playing.
When I
John
was at
McEnroe.
the pickleball, you do cornhole.
Yeah.
Like, dude, what the hell?
Smash
Smash ball. Like,
ball.
these
No,
are
did you see they got tag now? Where
yeah,
they playing
yeah. I
tag.
seen that. We'll do the little
Yeah.
obstacle course. It's like a tag through parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like what? And
yeah,
it's big.
yeah,
And I'm like, dude, they're playing tag?
yeah.
And they getting paid to play tag? Crazy. So yeah, I want a venue to where I can do all that and film it,
Mhm.
and then probably on the network that I can air a lot of this stuff.
I'm ready.
All right, man. All right, man. All right. Y'all hear that? He said he's ready.
I'm
We
ready.
got it documented.
Yeah, that's my vision now.
Oh,
Me and Jordan, our vision. We started to get some stuff together. We have some other stuff that we want to work on. So
right.
we're right there. We're
Okay.
ready.
And have an area for podcasts. We
Yeah,
have an area for the studio
yeah,
part.
yeah.
It's an
See,
area to do music and
yeah,
still recording. I'm in the music. I'm in the music. I love to record music.
yeah.
But yeah, man, that might be something we need to start working on because I mean, the whole thing. I'm a witness to say, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Because when people saw what I was doing at that outdoor, they were like, "You crazy? Ain't nobody coming to Signal Hill. Ain't nobody, man, outdoors, woo, bro."
Especially the heat. I don't know how they.
I
I
do.
don't know how those people. You know what? They were bored at home. They were bored.
Yeah, Joe, that's the other thing. COVID, man. Get these kids out of the house.
I don't care if it's 100. I don't care if it's 108. 100. It's 160 over there. We're good. Just let them play. Give them some more water.
Man,
Give them some more water.
I used to love it because on Saturday mornings we started at 8 in the morning outdoors, and people were pulling up like it was a picnic, dropping the kids off, and they were, kids were dying out there sweating, water.
I mean, how? Okay, what's the earliest? Like you have kids drop off.
Yeah.
What's the youngest kids that they just drop off? I know it's not
well,
like 3, 4 years old.
When they were, because we had a class, or we still have a class called Little Ballers for 4-year-olds. Man, kids run around in diapers, right? But anyway, no, the goal is we let the parents we have to have the parents there.
Yeah,
we're not a daycare center.
Well, that's what I mean. What's the youngest kids that get dropped off?
No, not dropped off.
Yeah.
But okay, 7. 7-year-olds, 7 and 8. They know they're in good hands, but they drop them off. We would run them for an hour and then come back.
How much? Like you have what? That's at least 5 a team, so that's 10 people.
Yeah.
And you have 10 kids dropped off.
Dude,
how does this work?
It's crazy, but it worked because, like, in my outdoor facility, I had time slots.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the younger kids come earlier and the older kids come later. Like from 8 to 12 was all my young kids up to 10-year-olds, and then after 12 noon, it just really. I had a structure where it was working, man. And I was running it to where we would have half of the court. Team on this side for 30 minutes, team on this side for 30 minutes, or whatever, an hour, and then shift. Another team come. Nobody was tripping about running up and down the full court because it was so hot.
Yeah.
They can get a good workout in their half court.
Yeah.
So once I figured that out, I was like, oh, they don't need to be running full court because they go die out here.
Yeah.
So I'll just put them on half courts. Work them for 30 to 45 minutes. They want to go home then. They're tired because that heat. Y'all don't get that. Man, that heat worked to my advantage because they were getting burnt out.
Because you can't really put fans either because it messes up the ball. Because you can't shoot the ball.
Man, ball shooting over here. Aim, throw it harder.
You got just for the win. Like what's it called? White man can't jump. You got just for the win.
Oh, that's right.
At Venice.
Right. That's right. Down that wind start blowing. But the good thing is that, again, I mean, it was Signal Hill, so I'm right on a hill.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that hot, but the asphalt made it hot, 10 degrees hotter. But it worked, man. Again, it was a chance I took, but it was the best thing I could have ever did because COVID shut down everything. And I was the only guy doing basketball. And I was like, okay, all right, let me ride this thing out. And luckily it was during COVID where that was it, and people were online talking about me. B-ballers, what's this B-ballers? And
do you have a website?
Yeah, you can go to bballerhoops.
Do you have a forum?
Huh?
Do you have a forum in your thing?
No, I don't have a forum in there.
If you get a forum, that might work also. You get a forum, they start talking about it in the forum.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't never think about putting a forum in there. I have the website up, and I got the Instagram and the Facebook page, and
because Instagram and all that work, but if you have a forum, they can all they go to the forum and talk about what's going on, ask some more questions, and because you can
right, and people can chime in and answer questions for me too, right? That's a good idea. I never thought about that.
Yeah, never helps, Then maybe put a QR code so they can see it and just and go on it.
Yeah, I had the QR code, and what I'm really neat now. I mean, I wanted to actually start a B-Baller Hoops television concept show, like where I can film the games and air the games, because a lot of my kids right now, since I've been in business, they're getting scholarships. People watch them online. I have a couple of few parents that are like really grateful for my program because their kids are being looked at seriously. Like I have one kid, this boy will be a star. He just got He just got in high school, middle school. They've been looking at him, and now he's been recruited highly for high school. And his mom was like, "Thanks to b-ballers," you know. And then a lot of things is I get a lot of kids that can't play basketball. They want to play basketball. I teach the fundamentals. That's the other thing I caught was a niche. I figured out like, everybody can do this YouTube stuff. Not everybody can do the YouTube stuff and the dribble between the legs and all
Yeah.
that. There are kids who just can't even dribble.
Yeah.
So I focused on the
I got
fundamentals.
one.
You got one?
Yeah, Jordan can't dribble.
That's cold. But it is what it is, man.
He can dribble on video. He can dribble video.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He can video dribble.
And that's the thing. I'm getting a lot of these kids. They're good at this, but when they come on the court, it's a whole different element. No, you have to dribble the ball, hand on top of the ball. You can't be doing all this other stuff. So I figured out. Let me just nail it to where I can focus on fundamentals and teach the kids the simple stuff. That seemed to work best for me than trying to be the go-to guy for travel ball and all this. No,
And
let me
one.
just and one and all that. No, and let me just show you how to dribble and shoot the fundamentals. And people were praising me because I just stuck to it. Like, no, it's all about fundamentals. That's all I want to do is teach y'all to dribble, pass, and shoot. We'll get the rest of the stuff later. And then once I got that fundamental stuff going, then that's when I said, okay, now once you learn the fundamentals, then I'll put you on the team. And I was kind of figuring it out as I went. It's like, because when I was teaching the fundamentals, they would last 4 months, and then they would move on. That's money gone. I'm like, no, I need to keep them in my little ecosystem. So I would just say, okay, after you learn how to dribble and shoot and pass, then I'm going to take you and put you on a team over here. And they stay with me on the teams all the way through high school. So I take them from fundamentals to high school. That's the way I just kept the money. Instead of leaving me, I'll just put the kids over here next. So I have a little air, make them graduate. So so when you get in the market, study the market, and then figure out what could you do best to kind of give you an upper hand. And so I figured I was just focused on fundamentals.
So you're from beginning to
high school, yeah.
Okay.
I get kids now. They've been with me from 4 all the way to 14, 15.
And you have leagues. You have leagues, and you have different levels in leagues. And
I have right now I decided to start my own league, but I make it a developmental league. This is for kids like what I get, kids who are beginners and they want to learn how to play on a basketball team. The problem with basketball I've noticed is that when a kid goes to try out on a team, they're only going to take 6 kids because teams are small.
Mm-hmm.
And 15 is the max, but a lot of these high schools and middle schools, they're only going to take 10, 12 kids. That's why they get 60 kids to show up for tryouts. So I'm like, maybe there's a market there for those kids who can't make the team.
Yeah.
But they just want to play. So I decided to create developmental teams, not the AAU high end. I do have that, but right now I just want those kids that are right in that sweet spot, that want to play, that want to get better. And I've created leagues just for them. I call one league called the B-Ballers League, and I got one called Little Ballers League. And we just started that at the Jewish Community Center, and it's hot, bro. It's doing good. And I get to see these players that can really like, that kid, that's going to be a Kobe right there. And girls, I started my first girls teams, and I got girls now playing. So I'm really trying to capitalize on the girls because I see there's a market for girls, just girls to be able to play against other girls. So 2 weeks ago, I started the B-Ballers League, and I featured 2 of my girl teams, and then I finally got 2 more girl teams coming in, and I'm like, got it. Yeah. So now they're going to start telling other people, and more, so I hopefully open up. Man, I'm telling you, man, if I give the right people, bro, we can do all right. I mean, I'm doing all right, but we can do better. The facility, though, man, we just get a spot. Come on, Shaq. Just get a spot, man. I can run it. I got everything in place. All I just need is the person to help see the vision. Because if you have the facility, bro, I got people still now hitting me up. I need a gym. I don't have one right now, but stick around. It's in the works. Yeah. So and that's pretty much it, man. So I went from church to basketball, but the thing is, I never gave up. Yeah. Never give up. You know what? I can sleep when I'm dead. I'm not trying to sleep. I gotta keep going because I'm really trying to build something for my kids so they can carry on. Because right now I'm talking to like my daughter. Like, look, when you finish this over here, you can always come and work for me.
Yeah.
You know, and that feels good to be able to get back. And my son is running it. My daughter is running it. My grandson is running it. Um, so that's it, man. So yeah, that's the story. So yeah, anybody want to sponsor B Ballers, hit me up. B Baller Hoop School, hit me up. BBallerHoops at Gmail. I got you. I can put your brand in front of so many parents,
Yeah.
so many parents and kids. I can really help your brand go to the next level if you want to get involved
Yeah.
with B Baller Hoops.
Get in touch with them. I'll put all his contacts in the description
Yes,
below.
sir.
Below. Like and subscribe. Go on, check them out. Make sure you guys like B-Ballers.
Yeah, look us up. Go online. Go on our Instagram page. Follow us. Like us. If you have any, if you're interested in starting your own B-Baller brand, hit me up. They call me
How does
Greg.
how does this work with LeVar?
Wait, which part?
Isn't he B-Ballers? What is he?
No. He's big baller
Big
brand.
Ballers. Okay,
Yeah.
Big Baller brand. Okay.
I don't think he's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's
big.
big baller.
I'm just wondering like Big
No,
Baller.
it's cool.
Okay.
It's funny because when he started, I started, and people were getting me confused, which could have helped my brand because I wasn't biting his brand, he wasn't biting mine. It's just mine is B Ballers, his is Big Baller brand.
Right. Okay.
Mine is B Ballers
Okay.
Hoops.
Just remember that. Big
Yeah,
B-Baller
B
Hoops.
Baller Hoops.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. Hey, LeVar, if you listen, or Ball Brothers, hit me up. I know y'all got a shoe line. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this brand right now, but I'm always open for collabs. Creating a partnership. But whatever happened to that B-baller, the big baller?
I don't know. The kids all made it to pros, so they're good now.
I know, right? It fell off.
Yeah,
Oops, when they got there, they're like, oh,
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good marketing. But I'm B-baller Hoops, and
Yes.
I definitely would love to speak to somebody who runs a brand and wants to get involved with sponsorship. I got tournaments all day we can do.
Take your kids out there.
Yeah, and if you
They're
know
inside.
kids,
They're inside now, so you good.
yeah, we not.
You got AC. They got their climate control
You know
going
what?
now.
We got air conditioning. This is it's funny because this is my first summer indoors, and what a big difference. I'm not as black as I used to be. But no, yeah, we indoors. We got an indoor gym. We practice indoors now. So come on down. Bring your kid. And if your kid don't know how to play basketball, I got you. We're the best fundamentals in town.
Okay, where you guys at?
We're down right now at the Jewish Community Center in Long Beach, and we're also at the Salvation Army gym, brand new gym, in Long Beach as well. So we have two gyms in Long Beach, and we're right off the 405 freeway and the 710. Centrally located. We just come down. You'll enjoy it. We're indoors, and we got Little Ballers League for ages 5 to 9. And we also have a B-Ballers League from 9 to 14. And these are kids that are developmental players, not the elite. But we also just started another brand called Ballers Elite, which is our AAU travel ball team. And we have two teams, a high school team and 11, 12, and 13, 14. So if you have a kid that's an elite player that wants to travel, hit us up, called Ballers, BALLERZ, Elite. And we just started, it's powered by B-Baller Hoops. But I have another coach running that, is Coach Chad. Boys legit running that travel ball team. And they just started this year, and they win in tournaments. But I'm just the brains behind that. I really don't do any of the coaching and none of that. But Ballers Elite, if you have AAU kids that want to get involved, play AAU. You know what AAU is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My son, my son plays video games. Jordan knows he sits right there. He's a video game guy. On my brother's kids.
Okay.
Well, one of them plays football.
Oh, okay. So you're a travel ball, okay.
Yeah, and then my buddy, his daughter played she did travel ball.
Okay.
Softball,
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, so I do travel ball now, so if you want to get involved with travel ball, we do have a travel ball side. But if you want some basketball and have fun, I got to plug. We got 2 camps coming up. 3 camps, actually, this summer at the JCC. I have a former NBA player by the name of Michael Cooper. Google him.
Played for the Lakers.
Played for the Lakers.
Number 10, right?
Right? Yeah, Mike. Or it was 11. Number 11. Nixon was 10.
Okay, yeah.
Michael Cooper was 11. So Michael Cooper, one of the best. I guess he was number 2 man on the Lakers. Man, Michael Coop is coming down to do a week camp in August, and then I have Olden Polynice, who played for the Clippers. He's coming down, big man, 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's coming down to do a camp in July for at the Jewish Community Center. So go to the website, sign up for Michael Cooper, Olden Polynice, or Ballers Elite. They have a camp coming. I'm working on Jordan Bell to come back this summer. Yeah, Jordan, trying to get you back. And a couple other guys I'm working on. But Michael Cooper and Olden Polynice are 2 big camps that are going to happen this summer at the Jewish Community Center. So if you want to meet some former NBA players, come bring your kids. Sign them up. It's for a whole week. It's only $250 or something like that. Very affordable.
All right, everybody. That's thanks for talking.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, nice.
Good to see you again.
Good to have you out here.
Yes, sir.
First of many.
And,
yeah. So, all right. So, everybody go the Ballers.
Be Ballers.
Be Ballers. I'll go check them out. 24 Slayton. Yes. You know where to get us at. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
We'll have some more out here. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Peace.
We out.